climate change either isn't real or doesn't matter. All right, I like this person. This person's going hard. Hey, Billy Balderdash, I don't know how willing you are to change your opinion on global warming. Dude, I hope you're right. But I thought it would be fun for you to get a different look on the subject. All right, exactly. Fuck what scientists are saying. I'm going to listen to a podcast listener who's not even smart enough to not listen to this podcast. All right, so as the title suggests, I think that man-made climate change isn't real, and if it is, it doesn't matter. Okay, you've made some big statements there, sir. So far, this is all reading like dialogue that a stenographer picked up at a bar about 3 drinks in. First, let's get into why it doesn't matter. Basically, if climate change is truly man-made, there's no reason to worry about it because there's nothing at all we can do about it. The reason for this starts with China and how we could model world carbon output based on their development. You mean the environmental disaster that is China? They have way too many fucking people. You know, I feel bad for the people living over there the way they have to live, unless it's all propaganda. Seems to me their fucking air is filthy over there because they got too many people. For decades, because they were stuck in a pre-industrial revolution era, China was a carbon negative country. I don't know what that means. Over the decades, as they began to develop, because they didn't have machines, that they weren't really producing a lot of pollution. Over the decades, as they began to develop, they started producing more and more pollution. As it stands right now, China spews out more carbon dioxide than the U.S. Wow. European Union and Russia combined. Here's the source, all right. By itself, that might be a problem we can deal with. However, India, a country with just as many people, is just now beginning to industrialize. The Asia-Pacific region of the globe, which includes China and India, now produces 50% of all global carbon emissions, and it will only continue to grow as India develops like China did. Yeah, that's scary because I learned when I traveled over there, when I did Singapore, Hong Kong, and Mumbai, India, there was more people in that geographical circle, within the circle of that flight, which is more like a triangle, but whatever. There was more people living within that part of the world than there was in the rest of the world. So if they all start living like fat Americans, yeah, we're in trouble. This is because as each undeveloped country begins to industrialize, it immediately starts using the cheapest forms of energy, producing the most readily available to accommodate a massive spike in energy needs. Wait. Immediately starts using the cheapest forms of energy production that are most readily available to accommodate a massive spike in energy needs, which means gas and coal. So India, with its billion people, will start producing as much carbon as China, and Africa is quickly following behind them. Yeah, we're kind of fucked. I don't understand why oil men won't just convert to solar. Just convert your business model. God forbid you don't fucking make $1 zillion this month. And then you could own the sun. You have enough money to produce legislation that you own all solar power. People would still be under your thumb. You'd still have all the power. And, you just keep getting more power throughout history, except we could continue living. So I don't understand, why can't oil companies just oppress us with solar energy? Anyway, so unless we are willing to just nuke their population and sterilize the survivors, there's no way to stop the climate change process. Well, I have to be is over the top, and as crazy as that is, if what scientists are saying is going to happen, then at some point that won't be a crazy over-the-top joke or a sci-fi thing. That's going to be like, at some point when people are just getting down to being able to survive on this fucking planet, what human life will mean will be no more than when a fly comes into your house and you just grab a swatter and whabash. However, that leads me to explain why I think man-made climate change is a hoax. When it comes to climate change research, the common complaint that research that tries to challenge consensus is that it's funded by the oil company. That begs the question, though, who funds the climate studies that support it? If you take a look at most climate research and note who paid for the studies, you begin to notice a trend in the list of financiers. And it just so happens to be our old friends, the international bankers. If you take a look at the World Bank page regarding climate finance, you'll notice that the group that dedicated $30 billion in climate-related activities in 2019 alone, a significant part of which is dedicated to climate research, this is just one banking group of many doing the same thing. So why are the banks financing people who claim that humans are affecting the global climate? Wait, why are they financing people who... Okay, there are two main reasons. Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm on fucking 60 Minutes. First is financial gain. Not only will the banks get trillions upon trillions of dollars in financing the infrastructure changes made in the name of climate change, but there is something called emissions trading, where individual companies buy and sell what are essentially stocks that are meant to offset the amount of greenhouse gases they produce. I hate fucking people that worship money. They can be bought from the big banks and sold on the market based on the... I can't... This is too fucking depressing. It's too fucking depressing. Do you know something? I'll just read the rest of this. I'm sure this interests you guys more than the dumb shit that comes out of my mouth, considering I wasted 30 minutes talking about stadiums and fucking fight songs of sports teams. These can be bought from the big banks and sold on the market on the price changes caused by changing environmental regulations. It's more complicated than what can be said here, so you can read more here. All right. Second, I guess I'll post these fucking links. I never do, though. Second is that they are trying... It's actually Wikipedia carbon emissions tradings, if you search that. Second is that they are trying to shape people's minds. They want people to not only accept lower living standards, but to want lower living standards. They want people eating bugs and dead bodies. What? Seriously, there's dozens of articles about this. See this example. Dude, I'm too fucking paranoid to read this. Edible insects save planet, global warming, tasty trend. Trendy. Tasty, trendy? I'm supposed to read a fucking article that says tasty, trendy, and it's about eating bugs? Here's my question. Why won't they just fucking implement some laws to try to curb the population growth? This is from the New York Post. Scientists suggest eating human flesh to fight climate change. Wow, I mean, this has to be like this is how fucking bad it's getting. And they want them to accept everyone. That can't be fucking. I have to click on that one. Scientists suggest eating human flesh to fight climate change. Well, I'll tell you right now, this brings us back to Houston, because if you want to eat anybody, you want those fucking marbled, rib-eyed people down there. And they don't exercise, so it'll be like eating veal. A Swedish scientist speaking at Stockholm Summit last week offered an unusual possible tactic in combating global climate change: eating human flesh. Oh, my God. Is there fucking video footage of this speech? Stockholm School of Economics professor and researcher Magnus Soderlund, there you go, reportedly said he believes eating human meat derived from dead bodies might be able to help save the human race if only a world society were awakened to the idea. Soderlund's argument for human cannibalism was front and center during a panel talk called "Can You Imagine Eating Human Flesh?" Oh, my God. So they have a triple-decker sandwich with, like, doll arms coming out of it. That's fucking hilarious. Soderlund's argument for the human cannibalism was, at the Gastro Summit. conservative taboos against cannibalism said can change over time if people simply tried eating human flesh. Then they're going to start farming people. Some of the talking points at the seminar, I remember vaguely reading Animal Farm. Is this the same thing where the animals start eating us or rebel against us? Some of the talking points at the seminar included whether humans were too selfish to live sustainably and if cannibalism is the solution to the food sustainability in the future. This is the direction we're headed in, that this is somebody is anticipating we're going to run, like all the animals are going to be dead. We'll have to eat each other. When asked during an interview after his talk if he personally would try human flesh, Soderlund said he was open to the idea. I feel somewhat hesitant, but to not appear overly conservative, I'd have to say I'd be open to at least tasting it. So was Jeffrey Dahmer a fucking environmentalist? Because he was helping the world population and then also not eating animals? I'm fucking beyond confused here. He suggested more plausible options such as eating pets and insects. Before human meat becomes the next cuisine trend, however, history shows that there are potential health risks to cannibalism. A tribe in Papua New Guinea practiced eating their dead as an alternative to allowing them to be consumed by worms, according to the standard. The cultural practice led to an epidemic of disease called kuru, also known as laughing death. Why is it called laughing death? I have to know that now. Okay. Why is kuru called laughing disease? Okay, let's see. The term kuru derives from the four words kuria or guria, to shake, due to the body tremors that are classic symptoms of the disease, and kuru itself means trembling. It's known as the laughing sickness due to the pathological bursts of laughter, which are a symptom of the disease. Videos. Cannibalism and the shaking death. Okay. What part of the internet am I on? Did I just get put on some fucking watch list here? Potential serial killer? You know what's fucking hilarious? I don't know why. I just clicked on this and it's advertising me this beautiful green Irish sweater, a jumper. And when I looked up cannibalism and the shaking death, a new form of disease and a possible epidemic. All right, let's get back to the comedy, everybody. What the fuck? Where the fuck did I go for the last 10 minutes? Hail to the Redskins eating other humans. Start fucking shaking. Laugh yourself to sleep.